Hello, and welcome to my stream. I'm Green Lambert, and today I'll be going through the Roses and Muskets event. I'd only have like, what is it? Uh, 2 days and 1 hour left before it ends, so I've been procrastinating again. So, thought I'd make a stream of it, go through this stuff, get the event weapon, all this other stuff, and see what the story's about, which appears to be Furina directing a movie with the new character Shiraz that will be, and Ayaka that will be in the next banner. Speaking of Shiraz, here she is, which is where I got my thumbnail from, so I will be going ahead now and starting the quest. Hi, Savior. This guy. Ah.
Seriously?
I forgot to increase the volume.
Morris, I don't understand, sir. How could you only be telling me this now?
Okay. It's going to be a bit low volume until we get through this, so I can change it because I forgot that. Damn it.
I'm afraid that there's nothing really I can do. I'm really facing a crisis. My hands are tied.
But what about my film?
Well, I'm afraid you'll have to come up with something on your own. Take it from me. Sometimes you just have to let things go. Same goes for this film festival.
Okay. Yeah, seems like his movie production is in the dumps.
Oh.
Hey, isn't it Xavier? So he's back in Fontaine now.
Yeah. He's back in Fontaine, alright.
Xavier!
Wow, this is very low volume. I'm screaming Xavier in case someone can't hear because of how low it is.
Oh, why, if it isn't the dear traveler and
Greeting.
Paimon. I really didn't expect to bump into you here at this time.
You certainly didn't expect us to bump into you. I actually didn't expect you here either, Xavier. But it's been a while. How you been?
Well, I was doing just fine until I received some terrible news just now. The investor I was working with for my upcoming film has fallen upon some hard times and is no longer able to provide the promised amount of funds.
Yeah, no funds for you, huh? Oh, hey, there is Shivers in the background.
Can't you just find a different investor?
Yeah. Finding a different investor.
Unfortunately, that's not how it works. We had signed an agreement specific to the Fontanalia Film Festival, stipulating that I cannot work with any other investors until the festival is finished.
So... Yeah, that's a unfortunate contract you had there.
The Fontanalia Film Festival? What's that?
Fontanalia Film Festival, what is that?
Oh, is this your first time participating in Fontaine's Fontanalia Film Festival? Then allow me to fill you in. The Fontanalia Festival was established to commemorate the legendary Loch Knights, who went on a quest to search for the Oceanids, and eventually welcomed the Hydro Arconageria.
Yeah, Loch Knight, Hierarch and Oceanids, blah blah.
The holiday is deeply connected to the founding of Fontaine, as well as its unique
Deeply connected to
laws and
Fontanalia Fontaine, as well as
tribes.
its unique laws and
It's one of the
tribes.
most
It's one of the most important festivals for this nation.
But what's with that weird expression on your face? It's like you're trying really hard to remember something.
Something you've got?
Ah, I was just trying to recall the exact description from the books, in order to avoid any unnecessary arguments over semantics. I usually try to recite things straight from the source.
Straight from the start. Well, that's a good
She gets it now.
thing to do.
Just like the Windbloom Festival in Mondstadt. And the
Green Blue
Lantern
Festival
Ride
Mountain, not
Leo.
right, Leah. Yeah. So we're getting Fontaines now. Have you had Summers during the festival yet? Alright, Sub-Zerus Festival. It wasn't in an event.
Yes, those are festivals of a similar variety. Who doesn't like a good festival? And just like those of other nations, Fontaine will hold a plethora of events around this time each year. To commemorate the Lock Nights, people will imitate
Right,
them
I
by
like
putting
that.
on
We'll imitate them by putting on special costumes, raising golden cups, and going door to door asking for your water.
But a few
Years
years
ago, later Furina started to find the whole day a little drab, and so decided to change the part about pure water to sweets.
Decided to change the part about pure water
Wow.
to sweets.
That sounds like Furina.
Really doesn't surprise Paimon at all.
Yep.
The whole thing seems more akin to a carnival now, and it's quite popular among the kids. Every year, you can hear a bunch of them saying,
it's a
"Trial
Halloween.
or treat."
Yeah, trial or treat.
Oh, that sounds pretty fun. But how does that connect back to the film festival you
My
mentioned?
throat.
Ah, yes, it appears I've strayed off topic. I just got too excited after seeing you. Let me get back to the point. The Fontinalia Film Festival is an event proposed by the Fontaine Film Association this year. Now that film technology has matured as a medium, it's the perfect time to introduce more people to the art form. During this time, people may submit films to be evaluated, and the entry with the highest score will be given the Furina Award by the association.
Furina Award by Association.
The what award?
The Furina Award. You know, after the Hydro Archon. They coined it while Lady Furina was still in power, but even though things have changed, no one has made any motion to update the name.
Yeah.
Perhaps everyone still thinks of it as a pretty appropriate name. Even though she isn't the Hydro Archon any longer, Lady Furina is still Fontaine's superstar. Anyone with eyes can see the way she shines on the stage.
Well, yeah. She was shining on stage not too long ago.
Ah, alright. Guess the name does work pretty well when you put it that way.
Oh, but who would have guessed there'd be an issue with the funding? How will I ever explain this to Miss Chiori? Not to say all the other actors who traveled all the way here from Inazuma.
Chiori? Sounds familiar. Where have we heard that name before?
She runs the clothing store in the Court of Fontaine.
Yes, that's her. I asked her to oversee the event's art direction, including the design of the actors' costumes and appearances.
Oh, Paimon remembers now. Navia said that her clothes were designed by Chiori, and Kirara's outfit too.
Ah,
How to describe her? Well, she tends to be pretty direct and can be very forceful when it comes to dealing with people. The fashion world in Fontaine has dubbed her the Thundering Seamstress. Her remarkable designs have led many Fontainians to become very interested in Inazuma. Anyway, Chiori is acquainted with all the actors I've invited from Inazuma. Without her help, I don't think I would have been able to get such an international cast for the film. She really is a kind soul.
ah.
Who are the actors from Inazuma? Do we know them?
Well, yes, we do.
Why don't the two of you accompany me to the Aquabus station to welcome them? Judging from the time, the Aquabus should be arriving shortly. Chiori will be waiting to meet me there as well.
The crack of muskets breaking the silence. And... Dang, I wanted to change the volume. Okay, getting this. Ah, okay, that was a base introduction of trick glitch sharpshooting. Panic under special amount of guards, he's looking for guests. To partake in an event test. Trick shots, tricky lights. Experimenting the record dress quite ostentatiously extends a sincere invitation. Extreme rider, yours for some involved event like industry are wearing frowns. You and Pine can counter on photo contract employee. To the frame, young talented film director Mr. Petit Lumiere gave you his business card. He seems to have a unique understanding of films. Okay. Now I can finally increase the volume. Sorry about that. Audio. this is one of our baselines to test.
Nice to meet you. I am Navia, the esteemed president, leader, commander-in-chief, executive director, and
Okay,
boss
it's in
of
the yellow,
Spina di
so
Rosula.
seems like it's
You strike me as somebody
doing well.
special. A person.
okay. Looks to be good
Spina
now.
has taught me that carrying an unreliable weapon is worse than not carrying one at all.
Goodbye, Shiros. I'll be seeing you later for that event. There it is. I think that was the right floor. Navia line.
Oh,
Ah. Yeah, it's the quarantine line. This is a very dangerous elevator. It's an arm. Ah, there you are, Shiori.
Miss Chiori?
Your talk with the investor sure went fast. The Aquabus hasn't even arrived yet. Oh? And who are they?
Hello. We are the Traveler and Paimon. You may have heard of us. Before
Allow me
God.
to introduce you. This is the Traveler and Paimon.
Pleased to meet you.
Likewise! We've heard the owner of Chioriya Boutique is a skilled seamstress, so it's a real pleasure to finally meet you in person.
The way now his wardrobe goes together is really exceptional. Yeah, it's a really nice design.
Why, thank you. I strove to create an outfit that matched her high social station as the demoiselle. So tell me, what happened? I can tell the conversation didn't go quite as expected.
Well, it's like this.
Ugh.
I know, Chiori, you don't have to say it. You did remind me that this investor was a little bit sketchy.
Yes, there's no doubt about that.
But how could I pass it up? He offered me twice as much as the others.
And therein lies the problem.
Yep.
Yes, but just put yourself in my shoes. After obtaining such an excellent script, it's only natural that I would want to make the most of the film. The budgets that the others had proposed were nowhere near enough. It's difficult to find someone willing to front such a large amount of mora, so...
Don't be sad, Xavier. We might be able to help scrounge up some more together for you.
Oh, thank you, Paimon. That means a lot to me. But the cost of the film is staggering. I'm afraid that any mora we can scrounge together in a short amount of time won't even be able to cover the actors' fees.
We need to move on. What's happened has already happened, and there's no changing it. But now's not the time to give up.
What? You're saying that you have a plan?
Yeah, if it was him who signed the contract, then getting a new director would work.
No, that's not what I mean. I'm simply saying I wouldn't give up just yet. The actors I recommended aren't just after Mora after all.
really? Then where do you live?
Melusines live in Mercy Village. The only way to enter is from underwater.
Oh, you must be pretty tired after work every day, right? I mean, you have to swim all that way just to go home.
You're so thoughtful. But some Melusines choose to live in the Court of Fontaine because it's so much more convenient.
Yes.
This is our stop.
Oh, we've arrived, but I haven't even finished chatting with Abel yet.
I also enjoyed Aval's introductions to Fontaine along the way. Everything you described was so clear and detailed that we can't help but want to hear more.
Thank you so much. I'm usually working here on this aqua bus, so I hope I'll have the chance to see you again. There are still many more places I'd like to introduce to you.
Ayaka, Yoimiya, Hayato.
Welcome to the Court of Fontaine.
Chiori, you sure have changed a lot. This is the first time we've seen you since you left Inazuma.
I haven't realized it's been so long. I was in such a rush when I left that I didn't even get to say goodbye.
Thank you for extending the invitation, Mr. Xavier. I'm looking forward to a fruitful trip here in Fontaine.
It's an honor to have the head of the Kamisato clan visit us.
So they're who you meant when you said you had actors coming from Inazuma?
Oh? It's the Traveler and Paimon.
Yes. Hello.
Wow, what a coincidence! Ayaka and I were just talking about you on the way here. Are you also here for the film?
No. Technically not, but no, we are.
We just ran into Xavier earlier and came over with him.
But I'm not an actress. Sir Kamisato and Lady Ayaka are the real actors here. I'm just tagging along with Ayaka to have a good time together.
I thought I would always get the lead role.
About that, I mean, how was I supposed to contact you when I was making preparations for the film? I figured you were probably busy, and I didn't want to disturb you. So I could only keep you in the back of my mind while I sought other actors to play the lead roles in the film.
I had been thinking about a surprise reunion with you during our trip here, but you still managed to surprise me first.
Yes. Seems so.
Oh, so you all know each other already! My, what a coincidence! What are the chances everyone could be brought together here like this? Why don't we go to Hotel de Boer and catch up over a meal? I've already made a reservation.
Huh? Did you reserve 2 spots for us too?
Well, there's no way you could have done that.
Yes, of course, of course.
Alright,
I'll
yeah.
be sure to tell the boss to serve a few more delicious dishes just to make sure there'll be enough food.
Very well. Then please, kindly lead the way, Mr. Xavier.
Wow, the buildings in Fontaine are so tall. Just look at how big they are.
And there's the fountain that Aval mentioned earlier. It really is a magnificent sight.
And look at that huge spinning sphere. Where does it get its power? Wait a sec! Could it be one of those clockwork mecha we've heard so much about?
Ah. Oh, let's go to the hotel. I believe it was not this way.
Investing too much emotion puts your personal views of it.
Hotel de Boer. Good thing we don't have to worry about getting assassinated here. Like the last
So
time.
this is what food from Fontaine is like. It sure is different from what we have in Inazuma. How should I describe it? It seems like you have to go through a lot more steps to make them. And the flavor has many layers too.
Ah, yes. When I first went to Inazuma, I actually thought the food there tasted a little too bland. It took some time for me to get used to it.
Let's get back to the purpose of this trip for a moment, shall we? How have preparations for the film been coming along, Mr. Xavier?
Well, I've already assembled most of the film crew. A lighting specialist, a prop manager, and a costume designer. I've also bought the copyrights from the novel's author.
Oh, it's called The Two Musketeers, right? I read the script you sent me on the way here. The story is pretty good.
Ah, Two Musketeers. All for one and one for all. I don't actually remember it. I used to actually know that by heart. It's been so long since I've even heard that, since I've even thought about that phrase. For the Three Musketeers.
Originally, I was planning to start filming as soon as Sir Kamisato and Lady Ayaka arrived in Fontaine, but I'm afraid I've run into a bit of a problem.
Oh? What is it?
It has to do with the film's investor, Mr. Morris. He suddenly informed me this morning that he's encountered some financial trouble and will be unable to release to me the amount of funding agreed upon.
It's said that Fontaine's legal system is well developed. If he has violated the contract, then can't you simply take him to court over the matter?
Well, I'm still more concerned about filming. Even if I were to take him to court, I'm afraid it would take months before the case could even be heard.
Then, is there a way we could raise funds ourselves to solve the problem?
I've considered that option too, but unfortunately, it's difficult to gather such a large amount of mora on such short notice. Besides, we have to consider the film festival's submission deadline.
Mr. Xavier, if Ayaka and I were willing to perform for free, would that resolve the problem you are currently facing?
What? No, out of the question. To have you come all this way just to act for free? Oh, no, that won't do.
There's no need to worry, Mr. Xavier. My brother and I had actually intended to work for free after receiving your invitation.
Well, they are already rich after all, so they don't really have a reason to get paid. Here?
Inazuma has only recently reopened its borders, and needs to strengthen its relations and cultural ties with other nations. We didn't have many collaboration projects with Fontaine in the past, so we hoped this trip would serve as a good start for the future.
Ah, politics. Excellent.
Indeed. You could say that's the real reason why the Yashiro Commission agreed to come to Fontaine.
I understand, but having you two act for free just doesn't seem right.
Not at all. While we're officially here to conduct a cultural survey of sorts, we must express our sincerity if we want to establish formal cultural ties with your nation. This film will serve as proof of friendly cooperation and cultural exchange between Inazuma and Fontaine. It's my hope that the film can be finished and released as smoothly as possible. If you still don't feel comfortable with this arrangement, I would also be more than happy to be introduced to some other renowned individuals in Fontaine's literary and artistic circles.
All right. I'll do
yes,
as you
no
say.
choice.
Thank you so much. I'll make sure to cobble together enough mora now, even if it means selling my house, my camera, and every single family heirloom.
You don't have to go that far.
Come on now, no need to go that far. I'll also help you out as a brand sponsor.
Yeah, say that you got our contribution from some personal friends.
Me too. Even though I didn't bring much more to spend on this trip, it's still better than nothing.
You are too kind, all of you. I really don't know how to...
Ew. All right, enough about that. Now that we have Xavier's savings, my support, and 2 leads who are willing to act for free, I think we will be able to make this happen. So, instead of Mora, you'll help with filming and production.
Oh, but how can we help with that? We don't know much about making a film.
Will just be a gopher. I think that's
All
the
right,
term.
pull yourself together, Xavier.
Or stagehand.
Tell us if there are still any open positions left among the crew.
All right. Let me think. We still need a camera operator, a clapper loader, and someone to manage logistics. I originally wanted to personally serve as director, but I've been too busy working as the producer. So the positions of director and director's assistant will also need to be filled.
Well, that will be Furina.
Paimon knows what the
pretty
director
sure.
and the logistics support person do, but what's a clapper loader?
The
Next up,
clapper
Paimon doing
loader
that
is
job in the-
responsible for using the clapperboard to
art.
record and organize the information of each shot when the camera operator begins shooting. The work requires both patience and careful attention to detail.
A clapperboard? Oh, you mean the thing they hold that goes clap whenever they start filming?
Yes, that's right. Are you interested in that job?
For sure! Paimon's always wanted to try that.
All right, then you'll be our clapper loader. I can find someone from the store to help with logistics. What do you think, Xavier?
Well, fine by me. As for our camera operator, I was thinking of letting the Traveler take the role.
Oh, she's great when it comes to using a camera. Paimon can't even count how many things we've taken photos of during our journey.
Yes, that's also what I was thinking. I noticed the Traveler had an eye for photography and composition when we worked together previously.
I'm sure that's due to the traveler's journey across Devat and all the places they've seen. After so many adventures, using a camera must be second nature by now.
What do you say, Traveler? Are you interested in the job?
That's the lights, camera, action.
Thank you. It really means a lot to me. Come on, friend. Let me give you a big warm hug.
No touchy-feely here. I think we better get to work.
So all that's left for us to find is a director and an assistant.
Oh, me. I want to be the director's assistant. All we need to do is help the director, right? I can handle that.
All right, then all we need is a director. Oh, all the well-known directors in Fontaine are probably also busy working on their own films these days. I'm not sure who will have time to help.
Well, that would be Furina.
Oh, Furina helped out a theater troupe recently by serving as an artistic consultant.
As I said.
She could be a good director, right? Besides, it's not like she has anything else to do right now.
Well, yep. She's currently a NEET.
Furina? Do you really think Lady Furina would be willing to help us with our humble project?
Don't fade on us now, Xavier.
Isn't that the name of Fontaine's Hydro Archon? My brother has already informed me about what happened here in Fontaine.
Yep, that's her. She helped out a theater troupe not too long ago, and now she's taking up work as a director.
Well,
I saw that musical. Her performance was perfect, and the storyboards were also excellent.
You know, I wonder if she was in the audience at some point. Would be interesting if you could have spotted her.
Don't let her former identity intimidate you. She's the best candidate we can think of right now. You'll never know until you give her a shot.
fine. You're right, Shiori. I'll do anything for the sake of my film. Anything! Then I'll have to ask the Traveler and Paimon to show me the way to Lady Furina's residence. I just hope she'll agree to help.
Do you need us to also come along?
No, there's no need to trouble you with this. Besides, you've just arrived in Fontaine, and I'm sure there are many places you would like to visit. Just leave this task to me. It's part of my duties as the producer.
Very well. Then we'll be waiting to hear the good news.
I'll go with you. By the way, you might want to consider bringing a gift.
The macaroni would be a good choice. Or that cake from... Well, they might have sold out by this point, so...
And don't worry, we won't simply drop you off at Furina's place. We know Furina pretty well by now, so having some familiar faces there should help your chances. Besides, the whole thing was our idea in the first place.
All right, then I'll start making preparations. As for the gift...
A gift for someone who was once seen as the Hydro Archon. I wonder what she would like.
It's not hard. She's just like Raiden. Just give her some sweets.
I recall that Lady Furina once fancied a clockwork ring, so perhaps I should get another exquisite clockwork contraption for her.
Huh? Can't we just bring some desserts, like the Fontinalia mousse?
But wouldn't that be a little too cheap? She does like desserts, though.
Yep, just like the Riding Shogun.
Isn't the Fontinalia festival happening right now? I heard Avo tell us on the Aquabus that Furina introduced the tradition of going door to door and asking for sweets.
Yes, she did.
To do something like that, she must have a real sweet tooth.
Yes, she does.
I agree with Yoimiya. If the gift is too fancy, it might actually make her feel more uncomfortable.
Alright then, let's go buy some Fontinalia mousse.
Quick
But
sync
will
is
that
there.
really be enough? We'll be asking her to do a lot of work, you know.
Oh hey, they have some automatic cooking utensils here. Huh.
You're right. We need to further sweeten the deal.
Huh? You want something even sweeter than Fontinalia mousse?
Yes, we'll need a gift that's sweeter than any dessert in the world.
Well, what's that? Love?
But what could that be?
Your words of praise.
She is a bit vain, so would probably work. Alright, now I have it as a recipe. Boom. Is there a chest over here somewhere? Okay.
You go ahead. No need to worry about us.
Oh, I hope Furina will like the gifts we prepared. Oh, and if you still think we should get something else for her, just let me know. I should be able to make some fireworks.
Just don't set fire to Fontaine with them.
Looking forward to the good news.
Well, see y'all later. Furina.
We're here! This is where Furina lives.
Okay, I'll go knock on the door.
No?
Coming.
Yep.
Seriously, who's knocking before afternoon tea?
Yep, she's a neat. She just sleeps all day.
Who are you?
Lady Furina, please allow me to introduce myself. I am Xavier, a film director.
The producer in this case.
Hello. Oh, is that the traveler in Paimon I see behind you? And who's this?
I'm Chiori.
Ah, the one from Chioria Boutique. Hello. So, what are you all doing here? Do you need something? Did you just get up, Furina? It's already past noon, you know.
Trying to be nice, remember? Paimon?
Huh? Oh, Paimon means the weather is so nice in the afternoon and the sun is so warm. Just like how you make us feel. Sleeping in late is a really smart idea.
You're laying it on a bit too thick.
No. I was just up late last night reading some novels. What does sleeping in have to do with the weather?
Yeah, you're just confusing her.
This is a small gift we've prepared for you, Lady Furina. We hope you like it.
No need to be so formal. I'm just a regular person like everyone else now. Oh, is this Fontinalia mousse? It's one of my favorites.
That's great! So, actually, there's something we need your help with.
Yeah.
Given your renowned passion and understanding of drama, I would like to ask that you serve as the director of our film crew.
Oh, but didn't you just say that you're a director?
Yes, but for this particular project, I'm mainly working as a producer. Besides, I'm sure that your understanding of the performing arts far surpasses my own, Lady Furina.
Are the Traveler and Paimon also part of the film crew?
Yes, we are.
Yep, we sure are. Paimon's the clapper loader and she's the camera operator.
Camera operator? That can be a pretty technical job, and it directly affects the final quality of the film. Are you really up to it?
I have experience. I can show you if you like. I actually have a bit of experience with this in real life, actually. Though, unfortunately, I can't take advantage of it because I don't have any lights or anything, which is why my personal camera looks like this. I do have a better camera here, but it's battery powered, so I need to get a dummy battery for it since USB doesn't work on it.
No, I'm not questioning your abilities. It's just that I've never really seen you use a camera before.
Maybe you can come up with a test for the Traveler and see for yourself. If she can satisfy you with her camera skills, then you'd have nothing to worry about and can join the team. What do you say?
You sure are getting better at rolling with the situation, Paimon. Oh, I do wish to see how skilled the Traveler really is with a camera. All right, how about this? We'll work with what we have. I'll give you some scenarios and see if your work is up to my standards.
Whatever you say, Director. Furina?
Very good. It's essential for the camera operator to understand the director's vision. I'll make my decision after seeing your work. Are you ready? I have high standards, you know.
I am ready.
Okay, grab the camera and I'll give you a scenario.
Film team directed by Furina. Estelle is the boss of Human Workshop and has always been proud of her forging machine, as it can not only precisely control strength and temperature, but also takes no effort from the blacksmith. Let us film a promotional video for our workshop. Remember to emphasize the superiority of her forging machine. You will need to... here we have the new minigame. You will need to film several shots according to the director's requirements and compile them into a video. Camera position is key. You should have started camera position and camera position requirements beforehand. Filming will be narration requirements. Select the most suitable narration according to the story. Try to satisfy all the director's filming requirements. After selecting the most suitable choices for all of the film camera positions and narration, you may begin filming and see the results. Okay. Located in the core of a Human Workshop is work that utilizes a forging machine. Yeah. You need a scene that shows how the forging machine at work. Apply it to temperature, making it perfect during exhausting, time-consuming work. That would be this one. You need a scene that shows how the astronaut still works relaxedly. Anyway, each day at work. And that would be this one. You need a scene that shows how the weapons are arranged in the boxes produced by the Human Workshop. This one. Our outstanding quality, exquisite craft and a keen edge. Is in a shout out to the Beaumont Workshop. Weapons are which one? Look no further than Beaumont. And this one. Yep. And start shooting. Located in the Corfortain, Beaumont Workshop is a weapons workshop that utilizes a forging machine. This machine can precisely control the force applied and the temperature, making it perfect for doing exhausting and time-consuming work. Thanks to this machine, the owner of B1 Workshop, Estelle, can comfortably enjoy each day at work. But worry not, for the weapons produced by B1 Workshop are of outstanding quality, with exquisite craftsmanship and a keen edge. If weapons are what you want, look no further than Beaumont.
Oh, it appears that you have more skill than I thought. All the shots had a great composition, and I could really feel a connection to the characters and their lines.
So, what's the verdict?
Yeah! Does that mean you agree to be our director, Furina?
Did you think I would agree just like that? After our performance of the Little Oceanid, I've begun to make a name for myself again, you know. In fact, I've already had several troops approach me for the Fontanalia Film Festival. Unfortunately, the scripts were all pretty boring and didn't pique my interest. If others were to find out I agreed to work with you so easily, then, well...
Hey, but didn't we have a deal? What else do we need to do to convince you, Furina?
Show her the script.
Well, what about the pay?
Oh, that's also an option.
Huh?
You know, how much you're willing to pay me to be the director? The pay is also an important factor for me to consider, you know.
Well, I can offer you this much?
What? That's all? If Nervilat were to hear of this, he could charge you with underpaying your labor.
I'm sorry, but our crew is in a tight financial spot at the moment.
I see. Well, even though it's highly unlikely now that I'll join your crew, there's still something I'd like to ask. Exactly what film are you planning to make?
Oh, our script is an adaptation of The Two Musketeers.
Huh? Wait, you mean the suspense thriller novel that was a #1 bestseller?
Oh, so Furina's read it too.
This was probably one that she stayed up all night reading.
Of course I read it. I've always had a keen interest in artistic works that strike a chord with the populace.
And it's also why you were sleeping in, wasn't it?
I see. It all makes sense now. You must have used most of the budget to pay for the copyright.
Not really. The novel's author transferred the copyright to me practically for free once he heard that I wanted to make a film adaptation of the story. The lack of budget is due to another issue.
He probably just wants to get his name out there. So, Mora isn't the most important thing to him right now. It reminds me of a delivery courier who wears one of my designs while traveling all across Teyvat. I didn't charge her much for the outfit either. The exposure she provides for my brand is well worth it.
So, are you a big fan of this story, Furina?
Yes, I'm pretty sure she is.
Well, it's alright. The pacing of the story is good, but the character relationships could use some work. When I was reading it before, I always felt like some things were left on a rather unsatisfactory note. I have high standards, you know.
Okay. She knows how to criticize, no.
Ahem, Mr. Xavier, if, hypothetically speaking, I agree to be the director, how much freedom would I have in terms of script revisions and creative interpretation?
As much freedom as you would need. I wouldn't dare doubt the tastes of Fontaine's greatest star.
Good. Then I'm free to alter the script as I see fit?
Absolutely, no problem.
Now's your chance to make a film that you love.
All right. It seems that your crew really can't go on without my care and direction.
So, you agree?
Yes, I agree. Although the pay is well below what someone of my caliber deserves. A great script calls for a great director.
Will shine.
I mustn't let a perfectly good story be ruined due to lack of funds. If you have fine cheese and bread, you wouldn't just let it sit on the counter and get moldy just because you lack an oven, right?
Thank you, Furina.
Oh, Hydro Archon above! I'm not dreaming, am I? Somebody pinch me.
Pinch.
There's no more Hydro Archon, you know. And it's still a little early to celebrate. There's a lot that goes into shooting a film. Although the trickiest tasks of finalizing the script and casting the actors have already been taken care of, we'll still need to reserve filming locations. Not to say set up lighting and props. And by the way, since we'll be filming The Two Musketeers, we'll need to find an action choreographer. Ideally, a professional who has actual experience with muskets.
Ah, that would be Chevreuse.
Yes, I've thought about this as well. I was hoping that you might know someone who could handle the job.
Me? If this was before, I could have simply asked Lorand. But it's already been some time since I last talked to her. Navia can also use firearms, but unfortunately, her style is quite different from that of the characters in the story.
Could we ask the Special Security and Surveillance Patrol?
Oh, you mean the Special Patrol's Musketeers?
Yes, that's right. They work with muskets every day. I can't think of anyone more qualified than them.
They would be under Nervilette's jurisdiction. Unfortunately, I don't have any connection with them at all. So, in the end, we still have to start by talking to Nervilette.
No need to go to all that trouble. I know their Captain Chevreuse.
Oh, you do? Wait, Chiori, how do you know the captain of the Special Patrol's Musketeers?
No particular reason. Running a business means dealing with some trouble from time to time, and she's helped me out on a few occasions. In return, I've helped her handle a few situations in which the Special Patrol couldn't get involved directly. So, we've gotten to know each other over time.
So you're saying there's been times when the Special Patrol needed a fashion designer to handle a situation? Your work is becoming more and more mysterious.
Well, she has a vision.
It'd be best to keep it that way. Anyway, enough about that. What do you all think about asking the captain to be our musket action choreographer?
She sounds professional enough. She is a captain, after all. I have no objections.
But I imagine the Special Security and Surveillance Patrol must be busy with their duties. Do you think she'd really have time to help us shooting a film? And then there's the issue of pay.
Well, it just so happens that she's also not the kind of person that's just after Mora. As for whether she has time, I'll have to go and ask her first.
Oh, I saw her on the street before, so she seems to be free right now.
Then I'll leave that to you. Macaroni's on sale today, so I've got to go. You can just tell me how things went when we discuss tomorrow's plan later.
No problem.
Having Furina join feels like a big boost to our team.
Of course. Just wait until the day of our premiere. You'll witness the true power of my name in these lands. You'll be so glad I agreed to help. I can guarantee that even the standing tickets will be sold out. I'll be sure to ask some people I know to see if they'd be willing to act as extras.
Seems like you're finally getting more comfortable with your own reputation now.
I didn't ask for the Clapper Loader's commentary, Paimon.
I can't wait to see our film's premiere.
Then let's get going. I happen to know where Chevreuse is today.
By the way, I'm curious. If my pay is so low, then what about our two lead actors? Didn't they travel here all the way from Inazuma?
Actually, they told us that they see the trip as part of a cultural exchange, so they didn't ask for any pay.
What? So is every person in Tevat who doesn't want money gathered here to shoot this film? Don't tell me Chiori isn't being paid either.
I already knew Xavier from before, and he's also agreed to give my brand some good exposure.
Everyone who doesn't want money is coming together and to make a film.
It seems the gods have really smiled upon you, Xavier. And that certainly doesn't include me, mind you.
Yes. He is quite lucky. Oh.
Besides the macaroni, I should also pick up some tomato sauce.
Hello? Meow, meow, meow. Oh. Colonies from the steamer. Smile had no face with range, but they're so fortunate indeed. For this way, you would not know that she was crying. What are you talking about? Because you apply for now, letters been on my case for 2 days now, I shan't be able to delay any longer. Seem very tired. The vagaries of writing serial novels. I really took this up as a relief from boredom. I never expected a romance novel I wrote to be so popular. I was quite naive at the time, signing that serialization contract as I did, and now I find myself struggling late into the nights over my writing progress. I'm stopping once I finish this series. I mean, he thought if I needed more. Poor contract employee, famous director, and there she is.
All right, this is the place.
But where's the captain? There's hardly anyone around here.
She's over there. The one with an eye patch reading in front of the newsstand.
Oh, her! Paimon could tell there was something different about her. She seems kinda intimidating.
And she has unique clothes.
Please wait here for a moment. I'll go fetch her.
Which means that
She's
she's an
working
important
now,
character.
so you might not want to get in her way.
Working? But isn't she just standing there and reading a novel?
Just trust me.
Oh, alright, let's see what happens then. Shiori sure is a mysterious person. She claims just to be a fashion designer, but she knows all these powerful people.
The court of Fontaine isn't particularly tolerant of visitors from overseas, so it isn't easy for a foreigner to promote their brand here. Even more so in the competitive world of fashion. Even a local like me just trying to make a film has to face all kinds of challenges. So I can only imagine what Shiori has been through to get where she is today. I'm sure that having more connections has definitely worked in her favor.
Reading on the job?
Detective novel.
One main character?
No. Multiple. Branching storylines.
I see. How's the plot coming along?
One of the main characters is about to make a choice that will affect the rest of his life. I'd wager he's going to make the wrong choice.
Any way to speed things up? There's something I need your help with.
You know that doesn't depend on me. It all comes down to what the character chooses.
Which is exactly why I'm here to help.
Suspicious transaction incoming.
All right. It appears he made the wrong choice in the end. Halt!
Huh? What's going on?
Hand over whatever you're holding.
Oh, it's just a book. I didn't buy anything else.
Then I'm sure you wouldn't mind letting me have a look.
Excuse me, officer. I don't mind you standing around here, not purchasing anything, but I'd prefer if you didn't disturb my customers. It's bad for business, you know.
Don't give me that act. You won't be able to get off so easily either. I am Chevraz, captain of Fontaine's Special Security and Surveillance Patrol. I will say this one last time. Hand over whatever you're holding at once. And before you do anything unwise, let me remind you that I'll have you on the ground before you can even think about making a run for it.
All right. I'll give it to you. But please let me say something first. If there's any contraband in that book, then the shopkeeper here is the one who slipped it in. I don't have anything to do with this.
Why, you trying to leave me on the hook, huh? You were the one who said you wanted it.
Save it for the interrogation room.
Yeah, the incriminated himself there. Should not let your emotions run high there.
Take them away, Letelier.
What's going on here? One second you're reading a book and the next you're escorting people away.
And who are... Oh! Aren't you the traveler who's been all over the papers recently? Chiori, I'm assuming what you wanted to ask me about has to do with them, right? Maybe I can let you in on what's happening then. Now that Vacher has been brought to justice, no new shipments of synth will be made and distributed to sellers. The Fontaine guards have been busy collecting the remaining synths still circulating on the market. Thanks to a tip from our reliable source here, this should be the very last batch.
Oh, so you were pretending to read a book in order to catch the bad guys. Oh, Paimon almost forgot to introduce ourselves. Paimon is Paimon, and this is the Traveler and Xavier.
Hey, I'm Chevraz. You probably already heard me introduce myself, so I won't bother repeating it.
Why didn't you just arrest him immediately?
Yeah, why didn't you make a move as soon as you had the chance? Were you worried that my intel wasn't accurate?
No, I wanted to see if the shopkeeper would turn himself in first. All he had to do was come up to me and say that he didn't know where the synth had come from. If he did that, then I wouldn't have had to press charges on him.
He had the whole day to turn the synth over to Chevraz. But instead, the moment I came up and blocked Chevraz's line of sight, he took the opportunity to sell it off.
Yep, he made the wrong choice, even though the right choice was right there in front of him.
But you knew they wouldn't make the right choice.
Yeah, I knew. I was just hoping I'd be wrong for once. Enough about that, though. What did you want to ask me about?
Oh, you see, it's like this.
The Two Musketeers. You certainly have a good eye for a story. So what do you need me to do? Just be the action choreographer for the actors?
Yes, that's right. I want to make sure we get all the details right. I want the actor's posture and understanding of firearms to be as realistic as possible. However, I'm afraid this work will require a bit of your time, since you'll have to be present whenever we're filming. Also, as for the pay...
No need to say any more. I'll join.
Huh? Just like that?
Really? You're willing to help us with our humble film project?
Sure, it's no big deal. As I said, we've wrapped up our investigation here, so I don't have any other tasks on my plate for the moment. Besides, I personally really like this novel. I even have the collector's edition at home. Stories where justice prevails over evil never get old for me.
Then we've got a deal?
Yes, I'll see you on set tomorrow.
Oh my! I can hardly believe it! I should tell Lady Furina immediately. Oh, and I must tell the prop manager and lighting technician to get everything ready. We start filming tomorrow!
Calm down, Xavier. The film is going to take more than just a day to finish. Still, I should also head back now and start preparing the actors' costumes and makeup.
Alright, guess that's it for today then.
Traveler, Paimon, please stay for a moment. I have something to tell you.
Then I'll take Xavier back. Poor thing. He's so excited that he can't even walk straight anymore. I don't want to spend our first day fishing our producer out of the fountain.
I think so, we will probably have to hold instance. No, I don't think so. See you tomorrow.
Yep, see you tomorrow.
So what did you want to tell us, Chevres?
Have you read The Two Musketeers?
I haven't read it yet.
The story is about a pair of children born into the household of a baron, and their struggle to survive together and take revenge for their mother. They were raised at the baron's estate, where their mother worked as a maid. The two were illegitimate children that the baron had with the maid, so they were never treated well by anyone. One day, upon returning home, they found their mother had been murdered and left dead on the floor. It was quite evident that the culprits were the other members of the baron's household, who never had any kind words to say to them. However, the baron was able to exert his influence and keep the whole thing under wraps. The mother's death was eventually deemed as a suicide, and there was no chance of bringing her murderers to justice. The two siblings decided to flee and someday avenge their mother. Many years later, members of the baron's family suddenly started turning up dead one after the other, all killed by gunshot. A rainbow rose was found on each of the victims' bodies, being the flower that the kid's mother liked best. The Baron believed that the mother's soul had come to take vengeance on him, so he lived in fear each day. But it was actually those two siblings who had fled all those years ago. They relied on each other to survive and trained day and night, eventually becoming adept musketeers. They used all of their abilities to collect evidence and clues before executing their plan and exacting revenge on the Baron. Their actions let the truth behind their mother's death be known to all.
That's quite an exhilarating story.
Yep, the Baron got what he deserved for his evil deeds, and justice was able to prevail. It was just the kind of story I enjoy.
Are those headphones on her? They're on her neck?
Oh, so is that why you were so willing to join our crew, Chevres?
You could say it was one of the reasons.
Oh, you mean there were other reasons too?
I've read the reports about you. Whether it was at the trials or when you lent your hand to resolve our nation's crisis.
Trouble seems to follow us, so you want to see if we'll find any more trouble.
You've shown that you've got a strong sense of justice, as well as a great mind for deductions.
There's a case that you need our help with.
Yes, you're as sharp as I expected. It seems you've experienced many similar situations before.
Constantly.
There's been a recent murder case involving muskets. The perpetrator's methods appear to be very similar to what is described in the novel.
Huh? Really? But Paimon didn't see anything about that in today's papers.
The Marechaussee Phantom hasn't yet released any information to the public because the investigation is currently at a standstill. The murderer is extremely cautious.
A murder involving firearms? But not that many people use those in Fontaine, right?
Could it be someone from your platoon?
Impossible. We perform a routine inspection of our firearms and ammo reserves every day. If one of the weapons had been fired, it would stick out like a sore thumb. Besides, I trust the members of my platoon. However... Well, that's all I can disclose about the case today.
Huh? What do you mean?
We need to be officially part of the investigation, apparently.
I hope you all can go back and get some shut-eye. You can decide tomorrow whether or not you'd like to join the investigation with me.
That too.
I'm aware this might not be the ideal time to add more to your plate, but the more capable people we have, the better the chances that justice will prevail.
Can someone from the Special Patrol help you investigate?
Carrying out investigations isn't actually supposed to be our responsibility. Our job is to apprehend the perpetrators. Finding them is really up to the Marechaussee Phantom. You could say I'm taking part in the investigation out of personal interest. I don't want people to see muskets in a negative way, and also, I'm concerned about the similarity between the crimes and the story.
You mean they might be connected somehow?
I suspect so. Just to make myself clear, this is not an order, nor is it a deal of any kind. It's a request, nothing more. If you two have any interest in the case after we finish filming tomorrow and are willing to assist me, then I would be most grateful.
What do you think, Traveler?
It's all been quite a day. Let's give some thought tomorrow.
Yeah, you're right. Paimon's getting a little tired, too. We've really been hustling all day.
You'd better head back and get some rest. It's good to keep a calm mind, especially when you're about to make an important decision. Otherwise, when the moment comes, you might end up like that shopkeeper and not even realize that the right choice is right there in front of you.
That one complete.
Add asterisk. Thank you for Add asterisk.
Yes, doing some things here and there. And now I just need to do the waiting. Wait until the morning, 8, 10.
It's finally time to meet up with everyone. Paimon even dreamt of making the film last night. If Paimon remembers right, we're meeting at Hotel de Boer. Let's get going!
Good morning. Xavier said yesterday afternoon went well.
Yeah, and how about you, Ayaka? What were you up to yesterday?
After we split up, Ayato went to see Udex Nervillette at the Palais Mermonia. I was originally thinking of going with him, but he said he could manage it himself. He told me to go see the sights around Fontaine and to enjoy the local culture. So I rode the aqua bus with Yoimiya and visited the opera house on Aranias Island.
Yeah, you wouldn't believe what we saw there! 2 mechanical puppets that were dancing together! You've already seen them, right?
The Dark Copelia and the Nemesis of Coppelius. Yes. I smashed them a couple of times.
Yeah, those two! Amazing, aren't they?
We sat and watched for quite a while. It was mesmerizing. Like we could keep watching them forever.
Oh, it was the same for us the first time we saw them, too!
And then we smashed them.
Afterwards, we went swimming at the beach! Well, diving, to be exact. It was the first time I ever breathed underwater! I held Ayaka's hand and we counted down together. 3, 2, 1, and then splash! We were beneath the waves. At first, I didn't dare to open my mouth. But once I couldn't hold my breath any longer, I decided to take a big breath in. Turns out the water wasn't as salty as I imagined. It didn't really taste like anything at all. Before I knew it, I was breathing like normal down there. It was an amazing feeling. Ayaka said I was too nervous and needed to loosen my grip. She got used to everything way faster than I did.
I knew that the Traveler could do it, so I had no doubt we could do it too. That helped me feel at ease as soon as we dove in.
Did we send an alert to her about this?
The underwater world in Fontaine truly is beautiful. I love seeing the romaritime flowers blossoming underwater, like little candles lighting up the streets at night.
Yeah, and there were so many creatures that we've never seen in Inazuma. Like those fish that shimmer like a sword blade. Whoosh! Oh, and those big fish that call when they see people. Ooh.
Oh, you mean Hunter's Rays and Blubber Beasts.
I just love the name Blubber Beast. Just wait till Pops and the others hear about this. They probably won't believe a word I say.
Yoimiya was down there for quite a while. It was dark before we finally rode the aquabus back to the city. I figured she'd want to sleep in today.
Yeah, even I was worried that I wouldn't be able to get up. I still felt like I was drifting in the waves when I went to sleep last night. But as soon as I woke up today, I remembered that we'd all be shooting a film together, and I was ready to go.
Speaking of the film, where's everybody else?
My brother and Xavier were speaking to the restaurant owner about using the place as a filming location. They should be here soon. As for the others,
We're here. Please excuse my tardiness. I just finished the Special Patrol's 6-mile morning jog.
Wait, 6 miles?
Okay, let's look it up. How much is that? How much is 6 miles in kilometers? A little less than 10 kilometers. So, not quite as much as Saitama.
I'm so tired. I heard you all chatting, so I decided to come down. I sure could use some of that endless energy everyone else has.
good morning, everyone.
Morning. Can someone fetch me a cup of coffee? More milk, hold the sugar.
Sure, I'd be happy to do that for you.
No, you can't go anywhere. Please, have a seat over here so I can get started on your makeup. The last thing I want is coffee stains on my costumes.
I can get the coffee. It's the perfect job for an assistant.
So much energy. Seriously, what's her secret?
Well, you are an old lady.
Oh, Yoimiya's always like that. But you sure look exhausted, Furina. It's because you're not used to waking up so early, huh?
Of course not. I spent the whole night reading the novel from cover to cover, marking sections that either need to be omitted or adapted.
Wow. Paimon didn't expect you to be so thorough.
Well, I was the biggest star in all of Fontaine after all. It takes more than just a pretty face to earn a reputation like that. I know how to get serious when the situation calls for it. I went all out when I was acting as an Archon, so why wouldn't I do the same for my own life?
Here's your coffee, Director Furina.
Oh, thank you. The sound of being called director and the aroma of coffee feels almost as refreshing as hearing the birds chirping in the morning.
Ah, it seems everyone has managed to arrive on time.
Hello, rest of the crew.
We've reached an agreement with the restaurant owner. We are free to use the second floor to shoot our film.
Really? That's great!
He is really looking forward to our film, and hopes that providing his restaurant as a filming location will attract more customers. Well then, Mr. Xavier, I'll leave the rest to you.
Okay, thanks. First, I'd like to introduce our new members. This is our prop manager, Veronique. She'll be in charge of all the film's props and items. And this is Bonneau, our lighting technician. He'll be in charge of lighting and illumination to set up each scene's atmosphere.
Wow. Sure feels like we have some real professionals joining the crew now.
First of all, please allow me to first express my sincerest gratitude to everyone in the crew. When my investor informed me yesterday that he wouldn't be able to provide the funds, I really thought that this was the nail in the coffin for this film. I had no idea that I'd find so many people willing to help me on such short notice. Thank you. Thank you all from the bottom of my heart.
No need to be so cordial, Mr. Xavier. We're all honored to be a part of this.
Your works made a profound impression on me when I saw them back in Inazuma. I am sure that someday, this film will be remembered as a prime example of cultural exchange between Fontaine and Inazuma.
Yes, the story is the reason I agreed to join. I can't bear to even imagine what this film would look like without the very best director.
Anyway, I would like to make a promise to everyone that as the producer of this film, I'll do whatever I can to ensure that everything goes as smoothly as possible. This is not just my film. It also embodies the thoughts and feelings of every person here, as well as the endless effort we are about to pour into it. So, without further ado, the Two Musketeers will officially begin filming now! You may take it from here, Director Furina.
No, I just
All right, listen up, everyone. The first scene takes place when the two young musketeers are living at the Baron's home, still unaware of all that is about to happen to them. We'll need props and lighting to set the scene. Our lead actors can go get their makeup done, and extras, please take this time to go over your positions.
Whoa. Seems Furina's really kicking things into gear as the director.
Is everyone clear? I don't want anyone traipsing around the set like umbrella finches. All right, cameras will start rolling as soon as the set is ready. Let's make a film that'll make some serious waves in Fontaine.
No, I guess he... Is it because they look like umbrellas that are called that? Probably.
Not the kind of waves that drown people. I mean, the good kind of waves.
Her draw button got hit.
Seems like she's still a bit traumatized by that.
Yes. And we keep hitting her trauma button whenever we meet.
Anyway, let's go see if there's anything we can do to help.
Fiction and reality, inside and outside the frame. And here we get a click here.
Ayaka has mentioned you to me before. She said that you two were great friends when you were kids.
No talking. I'm thinking about how to do your eyeshadow.
Ah, yes. To help me really look the part.
To achieve a more young and naive look for this scene.
Are you saying the wrinkles around my eyes are too deep?
She's calling him old.
You just have too much of a calculating look in your eyes.
You sure don't mince your words. It seems you really haven't changed much.
Quiet.
So this is what a musket looks like.
Not exactly. Not exactly.
Should I do my storage plan for the tableware again? Yeah. There's another one of you. We must have an elder sister downstairs. We're twins, must be condensed apart by parents. We sound very different though, so we get exposed the moment we open our mouths. Speaks slow, but she's careful, so careful, so you have the first floor, so just leave it to her. Huh. Does she... There is no key on her back. Okay, she's not a puppet. Furina?
I don't need any help here. Why don't... I don't need any help here. Why don't you try asking someone else?
Okay, done.
How about here?
A little more to the left.
You got it.
Hey, Mia, do you need a hand?
No, I'm fine. You know, doing the lighting is kind of like designing a fireworks show. It's interesting to imagine what kind of atmosphere the lights will create. I heard that the Traveler will be operating the camera and Paimon will be the clapper loader, right? Those roles are just perfect for the two of you.
Really? Is that because it'll be easy for Paimon to hold the clapperboard while flying?
Well, sure, there's that, but that's not exactly what I meant. I just think that after all your journeys together, you two must have developed a super close bond and just naturally know how to work with each other. If I'm not mistaken, the director will want the cameras rolling as soon as the clapperboard goes clack.
Actually, we start rolling before that. The clapperboard just gets edited out in post-production.
Oh, I see. It's amazing to see the magic behind filmmaking.
Yumiya, we need lights over there too.
Oh, on it! I've got to get back to work. Chat with you later. Oh, it's exciting to see so many people working together to bring the film to life.
Seems like Yamiya's really getting into it. But she was right. We do have a super close bond. Don't
Of course we do.
Paimon's really happy to hear that.
Coffee break's over.
I don't...
Nothing changed, okay.
So, this is a real musket?
No, it's just a prop weapon.
Not bad. Have you seen a real musket before?
Only in books and newspapers. I made this one based on the relative shape and proportions I saw in reference images. When we're filming, some special gunpowder will be applied around the muzzle, which will help create the flash and smoke effects of a real gun being fired.
Which means it'll be up to the actors to portray the recoil.
That's right. The sound effects for gunshots will also be added in post-production.
Thank you, Veronique. I think I know where to start now. However, the musket's gears and firing pin could still use some work. Adding some wear on the metallic components will make them appear more realistic. Also, be sure to rub the muskets with some oil each time before we start shooting. That'll give the impression that the firearms have been well maintained.
Good point.
You seem to know a lot, Miss Chevres. I assume you use these types of firearms on a regular basis?
Yes, I perform routine maintenance on my weapons every day. Just like we as people need to eat and sleep, muskets need to be cleaned and maintained.
I also perform similar care for my sword every day, and familiarize myself with its shape and weight, to the point where it feels like a natural extension of my body.
Yes, this way, our weapons will never betray us in the heat of battle.
Yes, well said. It seems we have the same philosophy on this topic.
Oh, sounds like they found a common interest to talk about.
Though these props differ from the muskets I use, I can still give you some pointers.
Good. I look forward to your instruction.
First and foremost, never point the weapon at anyone, regardless of whether it's a real or prop weapon or whether you're holding it or it's on the table. This holds for any time when you're not actively engaging an enemy.
Yeah, that is the proper way to treat firearms.
Okay, understood.
When aiming the musket, extend your arm so that it's level with your shoulder, and use your eye to look down the weapon's sights.
Like this?
Not bad. Now, try saying your lines.
This is the end of the road for you.
Good. Now turn your body a little. That way, you'll give your enemy less of a target to work with. And relax your shoulders. Here, allow me to demonstrate. This is the end of the road for you.
Huh. Excuse me, Miss Chiori. Director Furina, there's something I wish to discuss with you.
Oh? What is it?
Like this?
Yes, much better.
What do you think?
I do see your point. But are you sure you wish to do this?
I believe it would be most fitting.
Well, if you insist. All right, I understand. Miss Ayaka, Miss Chevris, could the two of you please come over here?
Huh? What's going on? Are we gonna start filming now?
Let's go see.
What is it?
I have a question for you, Miss Chevris. Would you be willing to play the role of a musketeer?
What?
To clarify, I would like to turn over my role to Miss Chevris.
But brother...
Don't worry, Ayaka. I actually view this as a good thing. I was becoming troubled trying to set aside some time to speak to the staff at the Palais Mermonia. I would like to have some conversations about the cultural exchange between our two countries, and I've heard that the bureaucratic process here can get rather complicated. Now, I will be able to focus on my work. Besides, you also know that I'm not really one for public performances.
Are you really sure?
From a director's point of view, I also felt like the relationship between the two musketeers in the original story could be improved. The older brother in the story plays the lead role with his overbearing character, but this causes his character to overshadow that of his sister, and the theme of the two supporting and relying on each other isn't conveyed very well. But if we were to change the siblings to two sisters of a similar age, then that aspect of the story might come through more clearly. Also, I've seen you instructing Ayaka. That cold and dignified personality is exactly what we need for the older musketeer.
Of course, even with all these insights, the decision should still be made by Miss Chevris.
Well, go for it.
Chevros mentioned that she really likes the story, right? Paimon bets that she'll take the role.
Well, we still don't know if she's a big fan of acting.
All right, I'll take the role.
And she took it. Obviously.
Good. It's decided then. I'll get started on making edits to the script. We'll also need to make some immediate adjustments to the lighting, props, and costumes. I have a feeling that our adaptation will be even better than the original story.
You're doing a great favor for me, Miss Chevris. You have my gratitude.
Don't mention it. I like this character, so if anything, I should be the one thanking you.
Well, since my brother is the one who brought up the idea, I suppose there's no need to worry. Let's go, Miss Chevris. I look forward to working with you.
Please, just call me Chevris.
Seems like you're really going out of your way to solve the problem I was having with your makeup.
Surely you jest, Chiori. I assure you that I was mostly motivated by a desire to spend more time on formal business.
Oh, come on. You really think I'd buy that? According to what I've heard from Ayaka, her brother is someone who can juggle 10 different matters at the same time. I'm sure you have other reasons for backing out.
Perhaps. Ayaka always said she wanted to go out and see more of the world, just like the Traveler. But I feel that she needs not only to see other nations, but also to make some different kinds of friends. I think it would be harder for her to make new connections with me constantly by her side. I would like to give her some space.
All right, go on. Spoil her some more.
Ayato, it's too bad you're stepping down from the role. Paimon really wanted to see you act as a musketeer.
This is the punishment you deserve.
No need to poke fun at me. I'd wager that you also felt that I wasn't the best candidate for the role.
It's a little hard for Paimon to imagine you saying those lines.
So, are you going to go back to work now?
Yes. I've made an appointment to meet some people from the Palais Mermonia. Now, I will have some more time to prepare.
Traveler, get the camera ready. Paimon, get the clapperboard. Actors, to your positions. We're about to start shooting the first scene.
Go on now. And please take good care of Ayaka.
Yep, don't worry.
You can count on us. Good luck with your work.
Thank you. I look forward to seeing the film when it's finished.
All right, now that we're all here, let me help set the scene for everyone. The first scene takes place when our two main characters are still living at the Baron's estate. They've been ostracized and verbally abused by others in the household, but they still have no idea why. We want to capture how naive and innocent they are, despite their pain. Chevres will be playing the role of the older sister, Tulip, and Ayaka will be the younger sister, Iris. Be sure to get close-ups of the main characters at the right moment. Silence on the set! Lights, camera, action!
Let's go!
Tulip, Mother's been out for quite a while now.
Perhaps she went to pick some flowers on the way home. You know how she loves flowers.
Iris, Tulip, I'm home.
Mother! You were out for so long, we were beginning to worry about you.
I'm sorry, but I'm back now, safe and sound. Here, I brought your favorite treat, apple turnovers.
Probably should have been a wider shot.
Mother, what are those bruises on your hand?
Huh? What bruises? Oh, I must have bumped into something while I was working yesterday.
But I didn't notice them this morning.
Then perhaps they're from when I accidentally tripped when I was out just now. By the way, did you have fun playing at home? What's the matter, Iris?
Looks an Iris.
Well, we've realized that no one really wants to play with us.
They even took Iris's doll and spat at us.
Oh.
And they even called us names. They said we were...
Shh. It's all right. Don't worry. Girls, listen to me. It doesn't matter what anyone says. Don't listen to them. No one can define you with such words. You both have wonderful lives ahead of you. Just like your names. You will both blossom like beautiful flowers. Maybe your time to blossom hasn't quite come yet, but one day, you two will bloom more beautifully than anything else. Don't let the soil you're in now ruin your future beauty. Understand? My dear daughters.
And cut! Not bad. The actors' emotions were all on point. Let's keep that take. Also, if our clapper loader could avoid shouting at the start of the scene next time.
Oh, got it.
That expression.
Great. I was a little worried that my nerves would get the better of me. What about you, Chevres?
I felt fine. The lines weren't too difficult at all. Seems like Furina must have adapted the role nicely.
You two were great. I couldn't tell it was your first time acting in a film.
You should have more confidence.
Thank you for your encouragement.
Positions, everyone! We'll move on to the next scene after we try a few more camera angles.
The ingredients at a great pace, and also Furina suggested some details to her satisfaction. You begin to film the second scene.
This scene is when our two characters return home, only to discover their mother has been murdered. Ready? Lights! Camera! Action!
Mother, we're back! Mother? What's wrong, Tulip?
Iris, stay away!
Huh? Why? What's... Mother! Mother... She's...
There's poison in this cup.
Huh? I could have sworn I've seen this kind of cup before.
Those aristocrats. They didn't even try to cover up their actions. Iris, we need to leave this place.
Leave? But now that Mother is gone, where can we even go?
There.
Anywhere. All I know is that we can't stay in this house.
But are we just going to let them get away with this?
We'll have our revenge, I promise you. Just not right now. Come on, let's go.
No, wait. We can't just leave Mother here like this. At least let me leave this rose with her. That's why we went out in the first place. To buy her this flower.
All right. Goodbye, Mother. We'll avenge you. Someday.
And cut!
They're really getting their money's worth for those tears, for those tear effects. They really want to use them a lot.
Beautiful! Great performance!
Oh my, you're so amazing, Ayaka! And were those real tears I saw? How did you do it?
I was surprised too.
Thank you for the kind compliments. Actually, as soon as Director Furina said action, I told myself not to think about anything. I just felt the weight of the moment and became the character. It's quite similar to practicing the art of the sword. You clear your mind and focus only on what's happening in front of you.
Ayaka's performance was amazing. Have I discovered an acting prodigy?
Ah.
Pipe down, everyone! We need to move on to the next scene!
Huh? Are we done already? But Paimon wants to keep playing with the clapperboard. How do you feel, Traveler? Is your arm sore from holding the camera all day?
A little bit. It was a lot of fun.
Good work, you two.
You too, Shivers. You were quite the actress today.
I've read this novel many times before. I have a good grasp of my character's mindset. Anyway, do you remember my request from yesterday?
Oh, right! We were having so much fun that Paimon nearly forgot!
Time to become detectives.
You have a case where the murders seem really similar to the cases in the novel, right? So, how are they similar exactly?
Is it going to turn out that the author is a murderer?
In the story, the main characters grow up to become two musketeers, always using their guns to carry out their revenge. And on each of the victims, they place a rainbow rose as a signal that they've returned.
So you mean there were rainbow roses in your case too?
Yes, that's correct. We found rainbow roses just like in the novel. Seems like you're connecting the dots now.
Oh, that does sound pretty concerning. Especially after seeing the script today. Ooh, now Paimon can't stop wondering what kind of ulterior motive the murderer might have. What do you think, Traveler? You're smart. Paimon wants to hear your thoughts.
And if I volunteer to assist, then I think you're the king.
Good. On behalf of Fontaine's Special Security and Surveillance Patrol, thank you for your dedication to justice. There's no time to lose. We should start investigating right away. Follow me.
Huh? Right now? Well, we just got done filming all day. Paimon's so tired.
The case waits for no one.
The most valuable intel always comes after nightfall. They are like small, remote islands in the middle of the sea. If you don't stay vigilant, you will pass right by them in the fog. That's how one of my favorite books always puts it, at least.
So, where are we going right now?
Huh?
Let's start by checking out some workshops that sell mechanical components. If the culprit is making their own weapons, it's very likely that they'll visit those sort of places.
I walked into something over there. It seems like a model hadn't finished deloading. Well, the collision for it, at least. Can I do this in the air? Yes. I wonder if I should just switch to my travel team, where I use Yalan and the Wanderer to just move around quickly. Hello, Lyra. Been a while since I last saw you.
Welcome to Le Show's Clockwork Workshop. How can I help you?
Hello. I'd like to know if anyone has purchased some special components lately.
Special components? Sorry, could you be more specific?
I mean the kind of components that aren't typically used for clockwork toys, but for firearms.
Huh? For firearms? No, we don't sell those sort of things here.
Don't misunderstand. I'm not here to cause any trouble. We are merely investigating a case, and we're hoping that you could cooperate.
Well, to be completely honest, I'm not even sure what kind of components that would entail.
Has anyone ever purchased components here as an individual rather than on behalf of an organization?
We have a lot of customers who buy toys, but those who buy components are all regular customers who buy in bulk on behalf of their organization.
Is that so? I understand. Thank you for your cooperation.
You're welcome. It's the least I can do.
The parts list of potential would have been a better thing to show him. Did you get in trouble, adventurer? Right, it's a glass roof, I think. Probably shouldn't be standing on that. Hello, Estelle.
Oh, hey, Chevris. Run out of oil for your musket again?
Hello, Estelle. I want to know if anyone has come to your shop recently to order some firearm components.
Oh, is this another case? Let me think. I don't think so. Some people have requested that I make some prop guns for the Fontinalia Film Festival, but I refused all of those requests.
Oh? Why's that?
Because there's no profit! I only make things here that can do some real heavy lifting. I don't have the energy to make some new molds just for the festival.
Then has anybody come specifically looking for mechanical components?
Well, I usually sell off my scrap to the Fleuve Cendre. I don't typically give them to one specific person.
I understand. Thanks for your cooperation.
Don't mention it. Always happy to have the Musketeers' patronage.
Seems like we haven't found any leads to go off yet.
I have to say the transitions have really improved in the game compared to how I remember it being before.
Yeah, unfortunately. Alright, let's head to Fleuve Cendre next.
Huh? Are you sure? People might not be so thrilled to see the captain of the special patrol there.
You think so, huh? Then I guess you don't know.
Huh? Know what?
That I grew up in Fleuve Cendre.
Oh. That's the sewers, right? Yes, it is. Ah, this turtle has tattoos. Never mind, we're gonna talk to 10 tortoise. The animation seems to have too few frames here. Yeah, he has too few frames.
Hello, I'd like to ask some questions.
I don't know anything.
Don't worry, I'm not here to arrest anybody.
You say that now.
It's the truth. Here, take this as my guarantee.
Wait, did Paimon just see what she thinks she saw? Is the captain of the special patrol bribing a citizen?
Gee, keep your lips sealed and no one will know. No, besides it's called buying info.
Seems you're different from the other guards. What do you want to know?
Have you heard anything related to muskets in Fleuve Cendre lately? Anything at all?
Muskets, huh? All I know is that about 2 weeks ago, we started hearing some loud noises at night. So loud that it's been waking me up.
Were they gunshots?
Possibly. It's hard to tell around here. Someone's house collapsing, a pipe exploding somewhere, it's all the same. But the noises I'm talking about definitely happened after I fell asleep.
Do you know where the noises were coming from?
I don't remember clearly.
More money?
Is it that you don't remember, or that you need to think about it some more?
You tell me.
Then please, think about it some more.
She's giving her even more Mora!
I didn't see anything, I'm just giving us some pita fruit.
The noises came from the end of the southern waterway. I came out and had a look for myself when I wasn't sleeping well, but I didn't dare get too close. That's all I know.
All right, I'll take your word for it.
Thanks for the pâte de fruits.
Ah, this music.
No need to be surprised. I grew up here, remember? I know how to get people around here to talk.
What talk? I want some pâte de fruit too.
My apologies, I'm all out of sweets. Though I do have some other tempting snacks in my custody. Fries, fried chicken, and even onion rings.
Ah. Even the traveler's excited about this. Not as much as Paimon, though.
But taking care of junk food is my responsibility. You're better off sticking to your normal,
give her
nutritious
some.
diet. Now then, let's keep going.
Hello, the drugs. How are you doing?
It's been a while, Tetro.
Please, just get on with your request.
I want to know if you've heard anybody talking about muskets lately.
Information isn't free, you know.
I've heard that bandits have been extremely active in the countryside recently, and they've been affecting the delivery of goods to Poisson. I can allocate some more manpower to help out with that problem. What do you say?
You're still as helpful as ever. One of our men got drunk at dinner about a month ago and lost his gun. 3 days later, it turned up in the corner here.
What's weird about that? He just forgot where he put it, right?
This is Fleuve Cendre, my friend. Anything of value left in the tavern won't ever make it to the next day. But that gun turned out to be an exception. It didn't get any new wear and tear on it, and didn't even appear to have been fired. We were quite mystified as to what could have happened.
Ah. Someone was trying to replicate it.
I suspect it came back because the weapon was already known to the guards.
You mean, a criminal was afraid the Marechaussee Phantom would use the shot marks to track them down? Maybe. But if that's the case, the culprit really took great care to avoid getting caught.
I didn't say anything about a criminal.
In Fleuve Cendre, knowing who was killed is as easy as knowing what clothes you're wearing today. It's the guy living in the east side, isn't it? I've never liked him. Every time he's here, he just orders a drink and sits there with a nasty look in his eyes.
So, who was the one who lost the gun in the first place?
Don't bother. Even if you ask, he wouldn't admit to owning a gun to some strangers. Not to mention the captain of the Special Security and Surveillance Patrol.
He's right.
I know you grew up here, Chevres. Even though you're on good terms with the Spina, you've still been gone too long. Not many people know you here now, and a lot of people don't like the Special Patrol.
I know.
So take my advice and don't show your face too much around here. It's for your own safety.
I'll come and go as I please, and I'm afraid I'll be appearing more often due to my work.
All right. Don't say I didn't warn you.
Ah, the Mafia. Problem? I guess so, right?
Those parts. It's taking him so.
Well, goodbye, Spina di Rosuna bartender. Wait. Did I guess? This is a very buoyant broom.
What's
do we
all
have?
this? Some broken planks and barrels, as well as some liquor bottles?
Yes, but have a closer look, Paimon.
Is there gunpowder inside the bottles?
Even though somebody has purposefully tried to clean them up, these are obviously marks from musket bullets. In other words, someone was here trying to improve their shot. They were using the barrels and bottles for target practice.
That makes more sense than what I said.
Could it have been the killer?
Your guess is as good as mine. Although many people at Fleuve Cendre own guns, few hide the fact from others. And even fewer would go to such lengths to hide markings from practice shots. Anyway, let's go. There might be more to this. Seems like that's all we'll be able to uncover for today.
Paimon feels like we managed to learn a lot more here than up on the surface.
Yes. Assuming that everything we found is indeed connected to our suspect, then their timeline was probably something like this. A month ago, our suspect found a gun and took it home to disassemble it. Once he'd figured out its mechanics, he brought it back. In the following weeks, he used some parts to create his own makeshift musket and took it to the Fleuve Cendre for target practice. Then, a few days ago, he found his target and carried out the murder. Once the deed was done, he left a rainbow rose on the body, just like the scene in the novel.
That all makes sense to Paimon, but we're still no closer to figuring out the killer's identity.
About the guy who died?
The deceased was a resident of Fleuve Cendre. It's said that he was a poor, solitary man.
But if we're following the knowledge, should the guy have been a nobleman?
Yeah,
Is he a former nobleman?
that's also something I'm trying to figure out. If we are indeed following the novel, and there's a story behind the murder, then this murder should be an act of vengeance. But according to our investigation, the deceased didn't have any enemies. He was no saint, but no one's heard of a rival who hated him enough to shoot him dead. Much less care to leave a rose on his body. What message is the killer trying to convey? And to whom exactly?
Is my prediction going to be correct? That it is the novelist, the writer of the Two Musketeers, that is responsible for this murder? Could it be the novelist?
We've thoroughly investigated that possibility. He claims to have spent the whole day at the Opera House on the day of the murder, and the staff there have confirmed his account.
Okay, so he has an alibi.
Not only that, he lacks a credible motive as well. He has a family of his own, and both of his parents are still alive. I've looked into his records. He was adopted at the age of 6, and all the proper procedures were followed. There are also records of him at an orphanage before then. In the story, the mother of the Two Musketeers was murdered after the children turned 10. Of course, he could have changed the children's ages, but I don't want to assume anything without evidence. More importantly, I've also had a chat with him in person. He didn't seem like the kind of person who would pull the trigger to kill a man.
Then, what should we do now? We have all this new information, but it doesn't help us move forward.
Investigations take time. I didn't expect us to catch the culprit in just a single day. How about this? Let's spend the next few days filming with the crew. We can continue the investigation once we're done with the film. I'm sure that given time, new leads will present themselves.
Wait, but weren't you saying Intel is like small, remote islands in the middle of the sea just a moment ago? Wouldn't you just miss them if you were to stop looking?
Ah, but the book had more than one reference to the islands, Paimon.
Oh? What else did it say then?
As long as you spend enough time sailing through the fog, you'll eventually come across an island.
That's Act 2. Yeah. And we'll switch over to a new day. Which is actually somewhat perfect timing. Since this happened. No, the fact that they see you out here means that I might have a chance to, well, continue the try and get the achievement for that quest, hopefully.
What? Never thought that the captain of the security and surveillance patrol could come from the Fleuve Cendre?
I'd say I'm pretty shocked.
Honestly, I'm pretty shocked too. There used to be a time when I thought I would never be able to join the guards. But as long as you can distinguish yourself through your accomplishments and skills, you'll eventually be recognized for your worth. If you look at it another way, my life at Fleuve Cendre has actually taught me a lot of valuable skills. Skills like how to barter with criminals or how to think in their shoes. Of course, I'd appreciate it if you could keep this a secret between us.
Of course.
What? Never thought that the
I'm sure
captain
that
of the
wasn't easy.
security... You mean rising through the ranks? It was a struggle, for sure. But as long as you can distinguish yourself through your accomplishments and skills, you'll eventually be recognized for your worth. If you look at it another way, my life at Fleuve Cendre has actually taught me a lot of valuable skills. Skills like how to barter...
Okay.
Of course, I'd appreciate...
And let's just repeat. Well, I think this is a pretty good stopping point today, so... the quiz is turning pretty interesting. Movies coming along, and... oh. Travis is an interesting character. So, I think this is a pretty decent event so far. I'll be doing other stuff, like the event things, the event minigames off stream, so I can focus on the story for the streams here. Well, anyway, thank you for watching. Like, subscribe if you like the stream. Or, well, I think that's all. Well, I do have a Patreon that doesn't have a lot on it right now, but hey, if you want to buy me a cup of coffee or something, you can give it a life from there or something. And that will be all for stream. Goodbye.
Oh.